All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Halona Black, and this is our weekly Wednesday AM meditative writing circle. This is a community of Black women writers. And we just meet every week to be able to journal on different topics, just to be able to, for personal expression. Sometimes you may feel like you want to be able to take some of these topics and write on them further for yourself or in a book or however it is that you choose to express yourself. And this week, we're talking about cultivating peace, finding ways for us to be able to cultivate peace. But as always, we start with a short meditation just to be able to set the space. So what I like to do is I cut off my video. If you'd like to, you can do the same for yourself. We have a couple of other people who are coming in. Miss Carolyn and Lauren, welcome. We're just starting. We're just cutting off our video so that we can start our meditation for the morning, just for a couple of minutes. So if you can sit where you are, you can put your feet flat on the floor, or you can sit cross-legged, whatever feels most comfortable for where you are at the moment. You can place your hands in your lap in the way that feels most comfortable for you. And you can close your eyes completely if that feels comfortable. If it feels safer for you, you can also just sort of lower your gaze. The meditation is always about doing about what feels best or most comfortable for you to be able to participate. And just take a few breaths naturally on your own. Just find where your breath is. And sometimes I find when I'm coming into a new space, it's nice to be able to use my breath to be able to catch up with myself, if that makes sense. Just to use your breath to be able to calm down for a moment. And sort of use your breath to be able to sink into the moment that you have in front of you. We'll put some thought on relaxing your shoulders. Your shoulders should drop. You can perhaps feel the muscles in your neck relax themselves. You can feel your heartbeat start to catch up with your breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And you can turn on your video if you would like. I like for people to have their video on, however, it is not a requirement. If for whatever reason you want to keep your video off, you can keep it off as well. It's up to you. So did I say good morning to everybody? Miss Carolyn? Good morning. Christine, good morning. Fati, good morning. Welcome back. And Lauren. Lauren is here. All right, so let's go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, Christine. It's always so great to hear you. I love your voice. I really do.
Thank you.
All right, so today we're talking about how it is that we cultivate peace, cultivating peace, and finding the moments in our lives where peace is important to be able to get through life. How much peace do we have currently in our lives? Ms. Janelle, welcome. Thank you for coming in. I'm glad you got the email. We're just getting started. We're talking about cultivating peace today. You look so comfortable, Janelle. You just, if you have a journal, you can take that out with your pen. And we're getting into question number 1. Describe a time when you felt truly at peace. What made that moment special? Describe a time when you felt truly at peace. What made that moment special? I'll put the question into the chat so you'll have it. And I'm putting 5 minutes on the clock. Okay. So that's 5 minutes. So I'll go first just to demonstrate how this works. So I offer the question and then I go back and I ask to the group. If you choose to share, you can share. You're not forced to share. You can also listen to how others respond, but it's very simple. So the question is, describe a time when you felt truly at peace. What made the moment special? And so for me, um, I don't know, I can't really pick a certain day or a time, but I like to be able to wake up for sunrise. To be able to watch sunrise is peaceful for me. Um, and I looked up the definition of peace. Peace is freedom from disturbance, a feeling of tranquility. So getting up in the morning, early in the morning, to be able to watch a sunrise is peaceful for me. And it wasn't always that way. I used to hate getting up in the morning, mostly because I hated what I was doing in my life. So the fact that I'm excited about getting up in the morning, early in the morning at that, to be able to watch sunrise says a lot about where my life is and how I enjoy the way that I live. So would anyone else like to share? Great, yes.
So I don't know if I can say truly, truly at peace because over the past several months, I've been struggling a little bit to even relax. So the best thing that I could come up with was earlier this year after traveling with my partner from Bangkok to New York and then to Houston for him to meet my mother. And there was a lot of disruption in that. One flight was canceled, and he was detained briefly at the airport because he travels to a lot of suspicious places for work. He's a TV news cameraman. And so he was detained in New York. And so it was late at night and I went on to Brooklyn by myself. He was like, they're holding me. I'll pick up my bag, go on home. And it was the first time we had traveled to New York together. So that trip already started off with a lot of stress. And we met my family and then we traveled a little bit in Europe together, but he went back to Bangkok by himself because I wanted to like do a little solo travel, which I enjoy greatly. And I went to Venice. And, once I got to my accommodation and got into the groove of what I was going to do, and I love Venice. I think it's just such an interesting place and just to walk around. But I was going specifically to go to the Biennale, the Art Biennale, which is all these art installations. If you maybe some of you have been, and riding the water buses, and I just think Venice is magnificent, and I
Mhm.
just felt like this is the me that I remember because I've been struggling to like remember what my true self feels like from leaving my job to travel, then the travel getting disrupted and breaking up with my longtime partner, then meeting a new person and inadvertently expatriating. It's been like 7 years of just constant upheaval. But when I was just walking around Venice and I had my long, nerdy list of all the um, shows and installations I was going to see, it just made me feel like, oh, right, that is the person that I was before I became this like nervous Nelly and what am I going to do and where am I and where am I supposed to be? So that was like a brief, maybe like 10 days of feeling like myself. And then
Mhm.
I went back to Bangkok and I sort of lost it again and I'm working on it again now. But yeah, that was the last time that I felt like really great, like, oh right, I am a person who does this.
Mhm.
And it has been really hard for me to connect with that. So that was my peaceful moment.
So peace for you is something that you feel like you have to connect to because you can't necessarily connect to it.
Right now, yes. Like when you said how you enjoy getting up and watching the sunrises,
Mhm.
when I'm in a better place, but
Mhm.
like those Southeast Asia sunrises and sunsets are just wonderful. And when
Mhm.
I'm feeling good and I get at up and out at 5:45 and walk through the park as the sun is rising, it's wonderful. But I've been so disconnected. It's really difficult for me to find peace in more simple things.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it took me going all the way to New York and
Mhm.
Houston and back to London and through through Spain to find like I found like 10 days of peace. So
Well, 10 days of peace is good. Mhm.
yeah,
Thank you.
thanks.
Would anyone else care to share?
I have one.
Yes.
Um, Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Um, I moved to the Virgin Islands, St. Croix, and I know that's U.S. Virgin Islands, but they don't live U.S. They're I don't know if any of you have been to St. Croix, but it's island life.
Mhm.
It's very different than St. Thomas. St. Thomas is like the New York of the islands. St. Croix is further out and it's smaller. It's literally island life. They have a Kmart. That's it. And they have a couple of stores there. Some of the roads are still dirt. There are no signs on the streets. It's just absolutely beautiful and wonderful. So that was my daughter had graduated from high school. She was in college, and I manifested this. I lived as if, and this happened, for me to move out there. And I worked. I worked for the federal government, so that made it easy for me to get salary and, still live in paradise, literally. And I found peace there because I'm a hermit. I'm very much a loner. Um, I get all kind of disrupted when I'm around people. So I was away from people. I didn't know anyone on the island. I loved that. I had a choice of whether I knew somebody or didn't know somebody. I had a choice of whether I wanted to participate in anything or not participate. My phone didn't ring off the hook. You know what I mean? Where somebody's, oh, can you come? Can you do whatever? I didn't have any of that. I had complete peace. However, I'm opposite of you. I am not a morning person. So I saw every sunset and I loved the sunset. I was on the beach every single day. I did fly out. The job that I had was a traveling job, so I was all over the country. I worked I I did a lot of travel with the federal government, and I was in Alaska. I was in a lot of places, so I had a lot of mixture of traveling all over and coming home to paradise all the time. So not having the pressures of other people doing things. I had a choice to do whatever I wanted to do, and it's funny because I just thought about when Trine was talking about your relationship. I wasn't in a relationship at that time at all. I was in a tumultuous, very, very bad um marriage. And like 3 years prior to that, and it just hit me, that's probably where I really desperately needed my peace. I'd never even thought about that. 3 years prior to that was a divorce, but we were apart longer than that. But it was just a sense of me getting to know who I was. And I didn't even realize that that's what I was doing until I had to leave. My mother got sick, so I had to come back to the States. to take care of her. So, and I never went, she died and she left me her house. So I haven't gone back. And I don't know if I'll go back there, but I do want to go probably either to South America or Europe. I've been to both. So it's just a choice. But it's just finding that one point in your life where you know what peace feels like. I actually now go back to that, the thoughts of it, the feel of it. I go back to that thing is really getting to me because I know that I can be in that place. And some people I know don't know how to get to that place because they haven't experienced it. I can honestly and truly say that I've experienced, enjoyed, and want to get that back again. So there's my piece. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Hmm.
Okay, so I was saying, thank you for sharing that, and your point about when you find it, you know what it is, and it's something that you can always sort of go back to. So when you veer far from it, you know when it's time to go back um, to that feeling again. I used to have a thing with feeling like I didn't deserve, like I had to go through stuff, like I had to go through a bunch of stuff in order to feel like I deserve to have a peaceful moment, which I think is something that has changed or is changing for me in my life. I don't feel like I have to go through a lot of turmoil before I'm allowed to have peace. I can create peace all the time. That's really just sort of been my point. Um, Even as a person who is a business owner, there's always a lot of talk as on the internet about business owners always, yeah, everything has to be difficult, and you gotta be busy all the time, and you want to be busy on the right things, but I want to be able to create a business that's peaceful at the same time, which I think is why I choose to be a writer. Writing feels like a peaceful activity, and talking to other people about their writing is peaceful for me. So we have time for one more, and then we'll go on to question two, if someone else cares to share.
I have something short to share.
Yes, Miss Carol.
How you doing this morning?
Well, thank you. I'm glad to see you.
Yes, happy to be here. Um, I wrote, I love the magic of flying. Whenever I take a plane, I find myself falling off into a deep, enjoyable sleep just after taking in the cloud formations of that day. It's very different from my pillow sleep. And yeah, that's all I wrote because
Mhm.
that's actually, it's almost like I've been drugged. That's how deep the sleep is. Mhm.
I love that. I'm the exact opposite. I can't sleep on the phone like that at
Mm.
all.
Yeah, I
But I
love.
love that. Is there something that you do in particular, or you can just sit down and knock out?
I can sit down and knock out. It's like I'm leaving everything behind, and I've taken wings.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I love that. Thank you.
Carolyn, I resonate with you. I get on the plane, I find my spot. I'm always by a window.
Mhm.
Um, I get myself all situated. I'm out sometimes before the plane even takes off, and they always have to wake me when the plane lands. That's me. I'm automatic. I'm like you.
Yes, yes.
Me
It's
too.
beautiful.
Right there with y'all. Yeah, I'd be like, Lord, look at your glorious work. Boom, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't get there, so I need to be laid down in a bed with a pillow. Okay, next question. What small daily practices can you implement to invite more peace into your daily life? What small daily practices can you implement to invite more peace into your daily life? One more minute. Okay. So the question is, what small practices can you implement to invite more peace into your daily life? So for me, I don't do it all the time, but I like tea rituals. Any sort of herbal tea, I really love. In particular, I really like ginger. Just cut up ginger in some hot water with lime. It has to be lime. I don't really care for lemon for whatever reason in tea. I'll use lemon for like salad dressing or something like that. But for tea, I have to have lime juice. And then sometimes I'll use a sugar or not. I might use a honey. I like to find a local honey for wherever it is and I'm living at the time. It just, I don't know. I really like local honey. I like to be able to get into and learn about some of the local stuff that's grown or is appreciated in the local area and in the village or the neighborhood that I'm living in. So that's always nice for me to be able to have. And then I like aromatherapy. Like I always like to be able to start my day with the scent of the day. And I just sort of figure out what's the scent of the day when I get up. And so today the scent is rosemary, which has, like a really bright scent that helps to wake up my brain in the morning. So I'll put it in my diffuser, or I might take a little bit if I'm just sort of, if I don't feel like being bothered with opening it up and all that other stuff and putting water in the diffuser, then I'll just put a little bit under my nose. Just a little bit. And I enjoy that. So what about you? If anyone would like to share.
I can go.
Yes.
I actually wrote about sunsets. So it's getting dark like around 4:30-ish, and the sky looks really pretty. I don't know if it's because it's fall season or what, but I don't recall the sky looking like this when the sun sets in the summertime. So actually like going outside to view the sky, looking up at the sky, that's what I've been doing lately. I haven't caught the sunset, but I'll be outside and see like the changing of the sky and like the pinks and like the hues of pink and orange. It just looks really, really pretty. And I think that kind of brings me some peace just to see like how the planet that we're on, like how beautiful it actually can be and like the creation and all of that. So actually going to spaces where I can see the sunset is like something that I want to actually do at least once a week. Like going onto a bridge and like seeing how the change happens like over the city. So I think that is something that like I want to start incorporating more to get that extra boost of peace in my life.
I love that. And it's nice to be able to notice that certain seasons, the sky looks different.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for
You
sure.
have a certain, you learn that you have a certain time of the year that you really enjoy over others. Not that you enjoy them more than others, but that there's a difference and you just happen to appreciate the beauty that you see during this particular time of the year. Thank you, Lauren. Would anyone else care to share?
If I could come off mute, I could go. I wrote about a little backtrack and then came to peace. For me, it is having routines around the things that nourish me. As I was journaling, I thought about the years I spent on high type A, power, executive, wife, mom, community, volunteer, all the things while I was running myself ragged. And so now that I've shifted, I use those same energies around the routines for myself and what brings me peace. And so some of the things are, while I'm still home base, I use my good china. It's not, I got rid of all the cheap daily china. I use my good china with my saucer when I'm home under my little teacup. I also have scents. And so now I have these bamboo sheets that are cooling. And every morning I take the time and I take everything out and I spray it down with this jasmine spray that I love. And as I'm making my bed, so I like coming back to that in the evening, that it's fresh and that scent is greeting me. I take a lot of stretch and breath breaks while I'm working. And in general, at work, I have zero pressure to perform. And honestly, it served me tremendously more. Like, I feel like I'm putting out the least effort ever in my career, and I have the most success. And it's just wild to me, but I'm grateful. Two more things. In general, I just walk slower. I used to just be on a mission, and now I just walk slower. I'm very intentional about making eye contact and just with every person, that's open to that, taking a moment to just have a short conversation or encourage somebody. And then also on the scents, I went on a solo trip to Arizona. I went to this candle making thing. And I created my scent. I went through all these scents, and it's a honeysuckle and champagne candle that I made. And I light that every night as well. So those are my little things that just have me in my daily practice of peace.
Those are all beautiful. I love that. I particularly like the to use the good china. Use the good china. Yeah. Like, why not? Like, why do you have two different versions? It's just taking up space. Just use the good stuff and just use it all the time.
Well, that's where I am. I'm, on a mission of planning for a solo, career break in the next few years. And so I'm like, I'm gonna use all this stuff before I give it away to somebody. Why not? I'll share that in the chat. Yes. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. One more person would like to share?
I'll share.
I'll share.
I think Janelle was first, and then Miss Jamila.
Okay.
And then you go. Go ahead, Janelle.
Thank you. So I am in constant overwhelm simply because I do way too much. So what I came up with to give myself peace is to give other people responsibility. So the things that I'm taking on, everybody's shaking their heads, delegating it to somebody else. The dad, giving it to dad, giving even the kids responsibilities for the things that I'm doing for them. In my business that I run, I would like to hire more people to take on the responsibilities, delegate more to the people that I do have working for me. And then even with taking on less for me would give me peace. So I like to take on a lot of projects. I would like to take on less. And then what I like to do is I like to walk. So going for more walks around the neighborhood and just listening to music is something that I need to do more of.
Excellent. Do less and delegate. I'm here for it. You don't have to do everything. Thank you, Janelle.
Mhm.
Ms. Jamila?
Yes, I'm finding a lot of peace in journaling and sense and aromatherapy, meditation, ancestral libation, and um, I really feel a deep sense of peace laying in my bed in the morning when I first wake up and just enjoying the fact that I literally don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
That just feels so peaceful to me after all the years of hustle, bustle, da 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 da, kids, and everything that comes along with family life. I'm really grateful to accept that peace because it was a challenge for me after being so involved and so entwined with all different types of activities for all those years. It's like, wow, like I really don't have to do anything. And and I love it. I love
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my piece.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to do nothing.
Don't have to do anything. I can let the laundry pile up as high as the ceiling if I want to, you know, because I don't have any obligations for the first time since being a child. And it's so
Mhm.
wonderful.
That's freedom.
Yes.
I love it. Not doing nothing. I can get up in the
Nothing.
morning and do nothing if I choose.
That's right.
Can I ask
Mhm.
how you make peace with, like, you don't have anything to do and just being like, it's a great thing that you don't have any responsibilities? Because I don't know if it's from my church upbringing, but I haven't been able to relax into just, I don't have any kids, I don't have any pets, don't have any, I have a partner, but I don't have anything that will, not thrive if I don't give it attention other than my relationship. But I still haven't relaxed into, I don't have to do anything. I think I'm in the mindset of you have to be producing something still. And I wish I didn't, because
Mhm.
I believe it would make me happier. Like yesterday, with it being so cold here, I didn't really do anything, and I had to just say, "That's okay. You're not responsible. Like nothing is not getting done because you."
Yes.
But I would be so much happier if I were more okay with that. But I haven't figured out how to just be like, I'm I feel good. I have money to go buy food. So
Mhm.
I just wish that I could just be like, it's all good. You know how Stephanie Perry is like good with not, she
Mhm.
just like, I'm not doing anything.
Doing nothing.
I struggle, I struggle with it.
Yeah.
Anybody got any words of wisdom to help
For
me with
me,
that?
I think it's been like there was a point when I first left the States where I had to work on feeling like I was worthy and
Yeah.
deserving of
Mhm.
good things. And rest and relaxation was one of them. Like
Right.
there was a point where I was working with an herbalist, and the herbalist told me that part of my protocol was to go to a sauna while I was in Thailand. The sauna was $5. He kept telling me, you got to go to the sauna because, it's going to help you to detox and there's all these benefits. And he was like, you got to go. I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to get there. And then we meet the following week. Did you go to the sauna, Halana? Oh, no, I had to do this, that, and the other. And we did
Mhm.
this for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then finally, he kind of cussed me out nicely. He said, what the hell is the problem? Why can't you just go to the sauna? And I broke down in tears.
Mm.
And I explained, I was like, I realized that I felt like I needed to deserve the sauna. And it's a $5 sauna around the corner. I didn't feel like I was doing enough. I was in a space where I was doing a lot of resting and relaxing, and I felt like I didn't deserve the luxury of a sauna. So for me, resting is it doesn't not necessarily luxury as in you need to afford it or you need to deserve it, but that you need it for life. Like you need time to be able to feel like you can just sit with yourself and do nothing. And you don't have to do anything to deserve it. So, you know, perhaps if you can just sort of sit with yourself and sort of figure out, you know, what is it about me that feels like I can't relax?
You know
Like
how
I
you
always have to
said,
be producing something.
you know how you said you feel like you have to go through something to deserve to have some peace?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that a little bit, but I also feel like my good fortune, there's like, this is so bad. My good fortune, there has to be like a price to be paid for it. If there were anything, I wish I could get rid of that feeling. Like, you're gonna have to pay the piper for this cushy situation that you have lucked up on. It is the worst, most useless feeling that I have. But I mean, I haven't worked in almost what, 7 years, and I'm like, this cannot be sustained. Even though, you know, I'm looking at numbers, it's sustainable, but I'm like, something something has to happen. Something's got to give, because how can this be?
May I speak to this?
Sure.
You've been given a gift of creativity, time for creativity. And it's a time for healing and speaking of yourself in a way that says you are. When you're speaking, you speak as if you're not, but your subconscious knows you are. So you need to be claiming that you are. And therein lies the peace. Because whatever you claim, you create. So, you know, create new things, do new things. So you don't have so much time to think about what you're not doing, because that's doing something. See, choose differently is what I'm trying to say. Does that help? Yeah. You are your own best company. You are your own best. I don't care if you do have a partner. You are your own best friend and will always be your own best friend. Love on yourself. Lately, I've taken to museum. Tomorrow, I'm going to like 4 different places. I'm going to come dragging in the house like a worn out cat. You know, if you're around a body of water, go to a body of water and just watch the water flow, because everything is bigger than we are. Everything. Meet new people. I love which I resonate with you so much, Danielle. I go and just run my mouth with random people sometimes. Climb into their world, see what they're doing, or I let them climb into mine. And then we part. We don't exchange numbers. We don't do anything. We laugh. We say stupid things to each other to make each other laugh, and gone. And it could be any age. Just one last, I know you're trying to move on. I just want to give this experience. I went to New York Botanical Garden with my great-grandson Saturday, and he was playing, and I was sitting. I was like, Lord Jesus, I'm so happy to be able to sit down. Yeah, go play, have fun. And I was in my own world, and all of a sudden, somebody's little granddaughter a little Caucasian girl, a little cherub face, shoved this plate of plastic food in my face and said, "Here, eat it all." So I had a moment to just make like I was eating some plastic corn and plastic muffins. Let life, let the good things surprise you. Give yourself to the surprises that life has to offer, and it never has to be big. Matter of fact, the smaller the things, the better. So therein lies my sermon.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Good. Thank you, Ms. Carolyn.
Mhm,
The small things in life are the things that matter. They really are.
mhm, mhm.
To remain open to what's there. You can't see because we're always too busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's usually stuff that we don't want to do. So that's important. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you so much for asking, Tree. Let's see. So for the third and final question before we leave, what does peace look like for you in this season of life? What does a peaceful life look like for you? What does peace look like for you in this season of life? Okay. So last question, what does peace look like for you in this season of life? Who'd like to share their thoughts?
I'll share one thing.
Sure.
Being the mother of 5 adults, I have decided that the thing that's bringing me peace now is minding my own damn business. That way I don't have to get upset about nothing that they do or don't do that I think is not. And it's hard, but it's been working. And that, and also using gratitude, you know, allowing myself to come back to a state of gratitude daily. Gratitude, just finding stuff to be grateful for. That's bringing me peace.
Excellent. I love that. And that's something that I had to learn too. I'm not a mother, but I do have family members who they just have too much going on, and it's not my business anymore. It's not. Do your life, and I'm going to do mine. The decisions that you make are just, it's not my business. And it really isn't, because you're grown.
Yes. I can speak to that. Just speaking to my sister on the weekend about that. She has a 24-year-old and I have 3 young adults, and she's still making some decisions for him. And I was like, why? Because it disturbs her because he's not doing the thing she wants him to do. And I was like, just stay out of it, like I do with my 3 children, and give yourself peace. Let him do him, and you do you, and let them live. Let them make their own decisions. But some of the things that would bring me peace right now, by March of next year, my mortgage will be paid. It's definitely going to be very, very peaceful, very peaceful. And then I plan to transition from working for someone to just doing my own thing. So that's going to be definitely very peaceful for me. And I love spending time with older people. I like hearing their stories, hearing their wisdom, hearing their advice, hearing the things they've done. And they have so much to offer. And that's something I want to do more of, spending time with the older people that I do know. And my grandmother being one of them, she's 97. And just doing a lot of spa and retreats and beaching and just a lot of relaxation. So next year this time, that's where I plan to be at. That's going to bring me lots of peace.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Congratulations on that mortgage being almost paid off.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a big deal. Wonderful. Thank you. One more person before we go.
I can go. I mean, my main word I wrote was freedom. That's just a word I've been clinging on to the last couple of years. But some bullet points. Freedom for time dedicated to enjoy life. Freedom to choose to do the things I want to do. Letting go of guilt. Embracing myself fully. Having people close to me on this same journey. And lovingly releasing others that are not, or just placing them in the outer courts of my life.
Lovingly placing them on the outer courts of my life. I like that.
Because some of them, I'm not cutting folk off, but you just be over there. Like, I love you from afar.
You definitely got to do that with some people, and a lot of time it's not even that they're doing anything. It's like it's the choice that we make to be involved in their life, and we bring our own crazy to our own selves.
Yes.
So you got to make a decision to just let it be.
And ditto on the grown children. I have 19 and 23-year-old, and I'm like, how do these children come from me? But I'm like, you know what? Do you, boo? Like, Mama has done all she can do. Like, it's your life. Go ahead on with your bad selves.
I love it. All right, ladies. So thank you so much. For the people who are watching this recording, if you want to join the Circle Live, you are more than welcome to. You can find the link in the description of the video. You just click on that, put in your name and your email address, and you'll get the next invitation. Also in the emails, you'll see that I have an almost weekly newsletter that I put out called Wealthy, Wise, and Whole. And it's just sort of an extension of what it is that we talk about here in the circle. It's $8 a month for the subscription or $80 for the year. You get 2 months, 2 months for free if you choose to do that. And then I also have an array of other author services. I think for the month of December, I have a couple of writing workshops that'll be free that I'm going to be offering. So you can look for that in your email box in probably next week. So thank you so much. And well, next week we won't be meeting because it's Thanksgiving week and I'm going to be moving around a bit. So we won't be meeting next week, but we will be meeting the first week of December.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So thank you all.
Thank
See
you
next
too.
week.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Giving.
Thank you. Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Love you.
Love
Okay,
you
take
too.
care.
Love you
All
all.
right.